marker. Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm on the side of my van here in Worthing because I'm meeting up with one of my lovely viewers today to talk about vans. Yeah, sorry, another van video, because this gentleman's got his own van and he's had some very interesting experiences with vans, camper vans, and he thought it would be worth sharing some of those ideas with me, and I thought it'd be worth sharing with you too. So he's had a look at my van and he's shaken his head and looked at the floor despondently and said, come and have a look at mine instead. So he hasn't really, he's a lovely bloke. So I'm going to close up my van like that, and I'm going to lock it. Hang on, where's the key? There it is. And I'm going to introduce you to Roger. Hello, Roger.
Hello, Richard. Good morning. How are you?
Nice to meet you. You're a tall fella, aren't you?
I'm a growing lad.
Right, you've parked your van just a little down the road. We're in West Worthing on the way to Goring, actually.
Yes.
And
very nice it is.
It is nice, isn't it? So I've got a what is it? A Transit Custom. But you don't have a Transit Custom.
I have a VW Transporter.
I was looking at those when I was in the process of looking for vans. That was one I thought, because VW have got a good name, they're reliable, and
that was my theory.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so presumably it has been.
Yeah, so far so good. Yes, very pleased.
How long have you had your van?
I bought it in November the year before last, so about 15 months, something like that. And I must say I'm very pleased. I had it professionally converted, and I cannot fault the work, and I'm more than pleased with everything that's there.
You had a larger camper van before, or what do you call them?
I had a motorhome in a previous life.
Yes.
And the bottom line in regards to that is that's something that I thought I'd wanted, and I thought I'd wanted one for years, so I bought one. I kept it for 16 weeks, sold it, and made a net loss of about £13,000.
Oh my God.
So, yeah. So that one down to experience.
Yes. So, but it didn't put you off, clearly, because here you are by your lovely van.
Well, this is far more practical for starters.
Because you do a lot of cycling,
I do a lot of cycling and a lot of kayaking. So I can, if I put what's called J-bars on the roof, I can put the kayak on the roof, and I specifically had an area in the van for putting my bike in, so it's out of sight, out of mind, everything. And then the habitation area is literally for sleeping, cooking, messing about, and everything else is out of sight, out of mind. So I'm very pleased.
It sounds perfect. So now I noticed first thing, it's grey, and presumably grey is a better colour than black, because black shows up all the dirt.
I did think that, and I wanted something that was relatively discreet.
Yes.
So I went for grey.
Well, good idea. I had no choice. So if I'm going to turn the camera around, there we go.
Well,
and
we have the interior.
And what a lovely interior! I mean, this is lovely. And as you said, you had it professionally fitted right from the start. So none of that messing about like I may well start to do as I start to change. So one of the first things I noticed, apart from that you've got a second window on the other side. Oh no, that's the same as me, isn't it? No, it isn't. I have windows in the door, that's right.
Yes.
You've removed the bulkhead and you've got your passenger chairs that can move round, swivel round.
Well, again, I then have the opportunity to have 4 seated people in the habitation area. There's a base plate that bolts to the floor, and then the seat sits on that, and then you can turn the seat round as and when you want to. The inside of the seat, there's a bit of storage as well.
Yes.
So that's just a bit of extra.
So you've also got a bed, which is a seat that pulls out.
But the bed, for the uninitiated, is called a rock and roll bed. It's just a generic term, but basically that pulls down to form a bed that is obviously that width but full length.
Yes. So because I'm going the width of the van, whereas you're going the width of a proper bed, and somebody of your height.
Yes, I'm 6'4", so it's lengthwise it's ideal.
Yeah, and of course if you've got a friend,
Yes.
You can snuggle up with them, whereas...
Yeah, I think it would be a bit snug, to be fair.
well, mine would be impossible.
But inside, the vehicle, I had a pop-up roof fitted.
Oh, right. Oh, okay, hang on. If I step up here, which is on a ledge, we can't really see it, and that's part of the discretion as well, isn't it? From the outside, you wouldn't know that this was necessarily a camper van.
No, exactly. It's got the privacy glass, tinted windows, so when there's no lights on inside, you can't see in, but obviously you can see out.
Yes.
The pop-up roof I've only used when I've been parked in a campsite, and the same applies to the awning. If the vehicle was locked up, unless anybody knows what they're talking about, the fact that there's an awning attached to the side of the vehicle, nobody would really know it's there.
No, and they don't know what purpose that would be for either, because
No.
if you could be a business that's doing stuff outside in all weathers.
Exactly. So there's no, other than a couple of small stickers, there's nothing on the vehicle at all to indicate that it's anything other than a bog standard van.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, it's immaculately done, I have to say. It does look very good. And at the back, of course, you've got a door that lifts, opens like a hatch.
Well, again, I did put a bit of thought into this.
So that you've got this shelter, immediately you're underneath, you've
Yes.
got shelter from the rain.
In the unlikely event that I get caught out in the rain in England, there's a bit of cover.
Never rains. Never rains.
But in here, this is where I keep my bike. I can take the front wheel out of the bike. That sits in there. For the uninitiated, the front forks of the bike sit in one of those two brackets. Sits in there. Cycling kit all in here, outside, out of
Yes.
mine. Same applies if I'm kayaking. Kayaking stuff sits in here. Kayak goes on the roof. It's ideal.
Absolutely ideal. So, in terms of what you've done and what I could do, certainly there's a lot of cramped space in mine, with the bulkhead where it is, and the
Yes.
bed almost halfway across the vehicle.
Yes, but there are. My opinion is there are things that you could do to improve the living space and the amount of light that comes into yours in
Yes.
particular.
Yes, and I think when you're away, those things are quite crucial, isn't it? The feeling that you're not trapped in a box,
Yes.
that you've got a bit of light,
Yeah.
and that you can stretch your legs as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have a cup of coffee with a friend or something, they've got space, and you're not sort of, as it is at the moment,
Exactly.
two people sitting on my little chair.
Yes.
You've got to be very, very friendly.
Yes, indeed. And it would, to be fair, it'd be nice in yours to be able to do a little bit of cooking or make tea inside,
Yes.
without standing outside, putting a cover between the rear doors.
Yeah.
That didn't seem ideal. It'd be nice on a summer's day.
Yes, and if if you get somewhere and you're trying to park up a bit discreetly, which is what I often would be doing, because I don't want people to know there might be camera gear in there or anything.
Exactly. Yes.
Or they may just object to you being there because they may think you're somebody who lives in a van permanently.
Yes. Yeah.
To be able to just do a quick bit of cooking inside
Yes.
would be ideal,
Yeah.
rather than suddenly making everything obvious
Yeah.
by
It is,
standing
yeah,
outside.
exactly, yes.
Yeah. So can we just go and sit inside
Yeah, feel free.
in yours? Because that is something that really made it lovely and spacious compared to mine.
Jump in, Richard.
So here we go. And of course you've got your driving seat there, which doesn't spin round. I'm just panning round here. So we've got the table in front of us, and there's Roger sitting all that way over there. I need binoculars to see you.
The table is demountable and actually lives attached to the rear bulkhead, which is just here. There's some storage here for food. This particular vehicle has an underslung gas container, which operates or allows you to use the gas cooker and the heating system. So if I just show you here, as a matter of interest, it's a twin burner.
That's great.
Twin burner sink, and the water is effectively it's freestanding water containers.
Yeah.
So there's not a fixed water containers. You just simply top those up as and when you need them. Under here we have a top-loading refrigerator, which is more storage for a bit of food, a few bits and pieces, keeps your milk cold. It's everything I need for what I use it for is in here.
Yes.
So it's absolutely ideal.
And I've been admiring the washing machine and the tumble dryer, the deep freeze, and the little jacuzzi that you also.
Be so lucky, Richard.
That you have, but it's so nice and airy, and you get that feeling of relaxation in here.
Yes, very much so.
Whereas mine was originally kitted out as a works vehicle, and I bought it on the basis that it had something to start with,
yes.
And really the van itself was the key part of it.
The van is lovely.
But there's obviously so much that I can do, and your message when you got in touch with me, first of all, was don't do anything hasty.
Exactly. Don't do anything until you've used the vehicle on many occasions and think, I can't get by without whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then look at perhaps having that particular thing done.
Absolutely.
Don't do a little bit or don't do it all, because if you go back to my experience with the motorhome, it could be a very big and very expensive mistake.
Yes.
Which I wouldn't like to see you go through.
No, I certainly don't want to do that. So that is the thing. So it's still, I mean, I think the first thing I want to do is investigate the seats, to get a plate so that I can turn the seats around like this and remove the bulkhead.
Yes.
I think that would be the first thing. I notice you don't have a curtain or anything here to hide the fact that if somebody's peering in from the front,
No, let them look.
Let them.
If they're that interested. But the reality is, once those seats are turned round, they would normally be in the normal position.
Yeah.
With the headrests, you can't, unless you're really making effort.
Yes.
You can't really see in anyway.
No, that's true. Actually, I hadn't thought of that.
So I haven't put any extra curtains up.
No.
Anything like that.
No. So yeah. So I think that's my first thing, and then slowly move incrementally on the things. But it's just so nice to know that actually if I wanted to strip out everything that's in my van, which I can do because nothing's bolted down, I could go to a fitter and say, here's a slab of money that my lovely patrons are now just writing the checks as we speak. I know you're not really, and have it done, and it can be really nice.
Anything you fancy having done is doable.
Is doable.
It really is.
Well, Roger, thank you so much for showing me your wonderful van. It's lovely, and I'll give you the keys to mine, and
we'll do a straight swap.
We'll do a straight swap.
Ultimately, it's just nice. My opinion is it's nice for you to be able to. I thought it'd be a good idea for you to perhaps get some ideas before you start committing yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm not going to do anything too quickly.
No.
My dad was a skinflint. There's an element of skinflintiness in me, as probably the viewers have noticed. I can't help it. I fight against it. So I know that I wasn't going to suddenly rashly spend out X amount of grand. It was hard enough buying the van, I can tell you. But I love it, and I'm very much looking forward to all the different changes.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Roger.
It's a pleasure.
So there we are. If you have got any ideas and what have you, bung them in the comments. It would be lovely to see what you think if you've had your van converted and got some advice. But this, I have to say, is very difficult to beat. But in the meantime, don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on another video. Till that time, thanks again, Roger.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.